Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting Indie Agency News. I'm Doug Zanger, and I want to thank you for being members. If you're not members, go to indieagency.news. You can get more information about us. And another thing you can get more information about is our preferred partners. So these aren't what you would call random sponsors. So these are companies that have definitely proven that they've worked with independent agencies. They've proven that they've helped indies win. And specifically for us, we always want our preferred partners to work with existing Indie Agency News members. So I want to talk a little bit about our good friends at Path Labs. Right there. There you go. Media execution support that scales. So let's talk about this for a minute. You don't need to hire to scale media. And yeah, I know it probably sounds too good to be true, but that's what over 50 indie agencies have discovered with Path Labs. So they really become an extension of your team. No headcount increase, no benefits, no management overhead. And we all know that executing media is getting harder and more fragmented. So Path Labs simplifies all of it so your team can focus on what they are great at. You know, things like strategy, things like creativity. And, you know, here's some data. You want to start looking at this. Here's one that's not actually in this key performance metric. They've got a 130% net dollar retention rate, 99.98% contract fulfillment. That's a big deal. Those aren't marketing numbers. These are agencies love working with us numbers. And so what I really appreciate, I've gotten a chance to get to know the team at Path Labs over the past several months. And they're great people to work with, and they're not a platform or automation tool. Experienced media pros who get it. So listen, if you're ready to streamline your media execution, not to sacrifice, check out Path Labs and all of our preferred partners at indieagency.partners. Again, thanks so much for your support. Enjoy the show.
Hello, this is Kyle O'Brien, Managing Editor of Indie Agency News. Thank you again for joining us. Let's meet an indie agency. How about one out of the Cambridge and Boston area called Hatch? Let's bring on Jennifer Harrington and Dorothy Urlich. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. And so you're in your Cambridge offices right now, correct?
We are in our Cambridge offices. Yes, on the other side of the river, which is always a contentious thing in the Boston area. Which side of the river?
Of course. But now, can I say that you're moving?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. Moving back to the south side.
Yeah, South End. Yeah, we're moving back to where our original haunts for many, many years.
Excellent. All right, we're going to jump right into it. So, what is your agency best known for?
Our agency is probably best known for branding. I think sometimes when we group agencies together, you know, sort of like, what type of agency are you? So we're really a branding agency. And I think we're probably best known for going into situations where brand and the business strategy are not very well aligned. So, you know, that is probably our calling card. What we've started to get known for a lot more, which is the reason that Dorothy is here, is about 4 years ago, we launched a talent practice at the agency as well.
So you have Hatch Talent now.
We have Hatch Talent now.
Excellent. So that kind of leads into what the top core strengths are. What are the 3 top core strengths for your agency?
I think we're really known in that branding bucket, but specifically for working with legacy brands that are trying to reintroduce themselves to new audiences. So we tend to work on those types of accounts. So we have clients like Hood Milk, Blue Cross Blue Shield, so older clients that are trying to take the equity that they've built and sort of make it new. We probably are recognized for relationships. We are very, very active with our client relationships, and we have very, very long client relationships for this industry, which I'm very proud of. We get hired many times again and again by the same clients. And at the end, I think we're known for our ability, and really this is Dorothy's superpower, to align talent with project needs and client needs. So those, I would say, I think those are our three superpowers.
I think that, Jen has been here much longer than I, as the founder, starting this business 16 years ago. But when I joined almost 4 years ago, what I knew about Hatch was branding and the relationships and the strength of those relationships, as you've said. And I think that what we both found in our careers were people were always asking us where, sometimes they didn't need an agency. They needed a freelance team, or they needed to make a hire at their company. And so we were always being asked, and I feel like that kind of led to this talent model. And even now it's a mix of people come because they need the agency team, but they also come because they know we're going to tell them how to best solve that problem. And it might be with a custom team that we put together and they work through the agency. It might be a freelance team we just hand over to them. It might be a full-time hire that they make instead of us. So it's an interesting puzzle. Every request is unique. And I do think it's a big differentiator for the agency.
Excellent. Let's get to the indie portion of this. Why is being an indie so important to you as an agency?
I've only worked at independent agencies, so I think I really sort of value the benefits of independence. As a business leader and an owner, I like being an independent agency because we have a lot of control over where we work, who we work with, and what we do. One of the things that we're very passionate about, and I'm very passionate about, is our community citizenship. And we're very, very involved in the Boston area and regional nonprofits. And I think being an independent allows you to really double down on the things that matter to you and to your people.
Right, sure. And what about your clients? What do they see in the importance of you being independent?
We have a very senior team, so they have access, like direct access to very senior people. I think they really like that. I think it gives them a lot of flexibility because we can sort of customize to what their individual needs are. And I think they like the fact that as an independent, and I know you guys have talked about the Boston market a little bit, sometimes we're often on a roster with other agencies. It's why some of the other agencies in Boston are such good friends. And I think that independence is also an opportunity to be able to partner with other independents very well when clients are building rosters.
Sure. I love the collegial aspect of the Boston scene. I think, the indies that are there are all really strong. And I know that you guys really respect each other there.
And I think, I think Andrew said it earlier, I was watching his podcast, we do root for each other.
Mm-hmm.
We really, really do. And I think there's sort of a groundswell around independent agencies in Boston that's really special, or feels special to be part of it.
Yeah. What does Boston bring to the equation for independent agencies as a city?
It's a great question. I mean, I think Boston is sort of the epicenter of so much entrepreneurship and innovation. And there are so many industries around us, whether it's higher ed, high tech, biotech. We have such an infrastructure around innovation and entrepreneurship that I think it sort of flavors the city and the talent, and also the types of clients that we work with that are here in this region. So I think all of that is just additive. I don't know, you're sort of soaking it up from the soil somehow.
It is. It's kind of imbued in the harbor there.
Well, maybe not the harbor.
Yeah, well, maybe not. You're right. So what is you talked about some of the brands you work with. What's the main reason a brand should work with Hatch?
We really love working with brands that already have a lot of equity, but the way that they are engaging with their stakeholders and their marketplaces is not necessarily in line with where the organization itself is going. So that sort of idea of how do you take the best of a brand as it is and connect it in a way that's culturally relevant and invites new audiences in is sort of our sweet spot.
Got it. And what about the brands you have worked with? What what have they imparted to you, and how have the brands you've worked with helped you grow as an agency?
Well, we've made incredible relationships over the years. And I think those relationships, as most independent agencies would probably attest, those are the ones that hire you multiple times or refer you business or whatever. So there's definitely a relationship component. But I think one of the things that we have learned the most from our clients is how difficult it is right now to assemble and choreograph talent across agencies and agency rosters, in-house teams, independent freelance teams, and now AI. So I think that sort of challenge of what does that mix need to look like? We love to be in the center of that conversation. And now with Dorothy here, we're really able to help in some new and compelling ways. So I think we're learning a lot about what it takes to pull an organization together and advance a brand across a very diverse group of people.
Sure. So that leads to the talent question. So why should talent put your agency on their list? What attracts talent to your agency?
Well, I'll jump in on that. So there's many ways that the talent can use their relationship with Hatch. They could come to us during their own job search to find a full-time role. They could join the Hatch roster and be a freelancer on one of our projects with our team. And we have long-standing relationships, kind of with that platform of people that we work with. And, they can come in and out of it. So we become a resource to the talent, however they want to work. And I think, a lot of, again, it's relationships, but I would just say, going back a little bit to one of your earlier questions, I've worked both in large holding companies and in startups and creative boutiques. And I really think that the best work that I've been involved in has been with those independent agencies. So if talent comes to Hatch, they might have the opportunity as a freelancer to do a very large broadcast assignment that they wouldn't typically have gotten as a solo freelancer. So we're able to embed them into our clients' organizations and internal marketing teams. And, they're going to be on that project and produce it and have it in their book. So it isn't like just dipping into concept something, and going on your way. So I think it's a really interesting model for talent, and it's growing. So I think.
Yeah. Now, when you get this talent, then, you talked a little bit about how you let them kind of grow, but what else do you do to help your talent grow based on the culture you've created?
We're really invested in that independent platform. We think of our independent talent partners as part of our own team, and we're very, very intentional about that. We actually have somebody on our team, in addition to the work that Dorothy's doing on the talent side, whose job is to literally create that connective tissue with our independent partners. When I founded Hatch 16 years ago, it was really under with the recognition that this incredible amount of talent was falling out of agencies and wanted to be independent. They didn't want to be in agencies. They wanted to be independent. And how could we be sort of a center point for people who were still looking for great creative and community and to be part of something, but wanted to be independent at the same time? So I feel strongly about that piece.
It's great. All right, now we get to the fun question. Not that these other ones haven't been fun. We've been having a good time this whole time. Come on. This one might be a little more whimsical, let's just say.
Okay.
Do you consider yourselves weirdos, misfits, or underdogs? And why?
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah,
Well,
I do. She's a weirdo. No,
I was going to say, I don't think we're those things, but I think we attract, and this sounds like, I think we attract.
I can't wait to hear what you're going to say.
I feel like we attract some of, maybe not the weirdos, but the weird projects.
We do attract
So
weird
that's
projects.
what I think. Like, if we're not the weirdos, but they come when they have these unusual assignments.
That
Things
is
that
true.
wouldn't typically go to an agency. So I feel like we're kind of a magnet for
Weirdness.
the weirdos and the misfits and the, no, I don't mean that about our clients, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we do unusual things
That is
in
true.
terms of solving these problems. And, you know, and sometimes you don't even see it in produced work. It becomes more of a consulting assignment for the clients that just need help to set up their internal teams, or, you know, help sell through a marketing plan. They're coming for things that they wouldn't typically go to an agency for.
Gotcha. But sometimes it's good to be weird. So
Yeah.
I always think that. So
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good that's worked out for us over the years.
Hey, listen, if you found that and it attracts people, all the better. I love it. All right, so now's your chance to give a little shout out if you'd like. Do you have a CMO, a marketer, or anybody you'd like to say hello to?
I am a raging super fan of Kristen Cavallo. So hello, Kristen. She came to Boston just recently and I wasn't here and I couldn't hear her speak. And I just am so enamored with her as a female leader at Martin. She was such a spokesperson for this industry and for creative product during COVID. I just loved her. And the fact that she is now at a museum, which we didn't talk about my love and passion for the visual arts, but the fact that she's now at a museum, I just think is incredible. I sort of want to be her.
Well, she's fantastic. Great shout out. Dorothy, anybody you'd like to shout out?
Well, I think instead of a CMO, I'd like to say hello to some of the chief creative officers that I don't know. I have a lot of relationships on the East Coast and on the West Coast, but not so much in the middle of the country. And like many, I've been watching Quality Meats. So I think I just want to give a shout out to Gordy Sang and everything that team is doing. And I would love to recruit for more independent agencies. I mean, we do now, like that's another thing to be clear. It isn't just all for ourselves and our brand clients. We also work directly for other agencies. And I think we understand the nuances and the challenges that some of these smaller creative shops have. So we'd love to meet all of them.
Fantastic. Well, you're in the right place for it. So, all right, Gordy, Kristen, and the like. Hope you heard that. All right, Dorothy, Jennifer from Hatch, and we will put that up just again so everybody knows your badge and your banner. So, thank you again for joining us and for Meet an Indie Agency. This is Kyle O'Brien signing off. All right,
Thank you.